Hi everyone, this is a guide of sorts on the Guardian Ape Fight in Sekiro. This isn't meant to be an all-encompassing guide or an attempt to cover methods to finish the fight quickly. That's not my goal here. I love this fight and I would like as many people to enjoy it as possible. So my goal here is to share how I go about the fight in a way that others can leverage, and hopefully by the end, you can have some new ways to approach the fight that lets you both enjoy it and have an easier time. I'll be breaking down the fight into its major components and outlining them in the chapters down below. One thing you'll notice is I take a very passive approach in this fight. In a lot of fights in this game, you are rewarded for more aggressive gameplay, but in this fight, I find it much more enjoyable to take it slow, allowing deflections to build posture damage and chip at vitality when safe. I use Firecrackers for the first phase, but they aren't needed. I like to use them to extend moments where I'd normally only get 1 to 2 hits and get a couple more in. This usually comes at the end of an attack chain. When you throw your first Firecracker, you will be able to start swinging immediately, but every Firecracker after that, he will still get stunned, but will first swing his arms down in a way that will damage. So you want to circle behind and then start swinging to avoid damage. Anytime it gives you a chance to swing to him, take it. You can get some easy vitality hits in, the swing staggers him, so you should be able to hit a rolling strike and then 1 or 2 hits after that before he retaliates. He has multiple standard attacks that should all be treated the same. Deflect if you're confident, but you can afford to just block. His attacks are usually not aggressive enough to break your guard and follow up before you can recover. Take the time when not attacking to heal posture quickly by holding block while not being attacked. If your guard is broken, you can usually just roll away or pull your guard back up before his next attack comes in. When he sits down and shows you his back, it's often a feint. Take a second when he shows his back to just wait. You have plenty of time to get swings in even after you use a second to confirm he's not following up. While you're trying to determine if it's a feint, make sure you hold block. His attacks coming out of this position will hit very quickly, and this allows you to be ready for his follow-up as well as recover any posture damage. Telegraphed by a long wind-up swing that lands him onto his back, his Tantrum is one of his more erratic moves, but is a great opportunity to get some strikes in. Block the first swing, and when he ends up on his back, jump away and towards his head. Try to position a couple of feet back, but stay close. You'll be clear of his attacks and have a chance to get some easy vitality hits in while he gets up. You have to be careful not to get greedy and move too early because his whole body will damage during the Tantrum. If you wait until he starts to turn back over, his body will no longer damage, and that's your chance for free hits. The telegraph for the start of his poison throw will happen when you are behind him. He'll get on all fours and his back legs will pull forward before releasing the poison cloud. You have an even earlier read for this when you get behind him as he pauses for a moment, not moving in that all fours position. If you can key off of this, you should have no issues avoiding the poison cloud. Anytime he goes for a poison throw or he tries to sprint away, chase and try to circle around him. When he lands, he'll be vulnerable for some free hits. The key telegraph for his jumping grab is when he stands up on 2 legs. Anytime you see him stand on 2 legs or sprint away from you, sprint and circle behind him. If you stay behind him, he will be unable to hit you and you have a nice opportunity for damage after his jumping grab misses. He will sometimes disengage from going for his jump grab, so be prepared if he goes back onto all fours or goes directly into a different attack chain. Anytime he turns his body to the right in place while looking at you, he is going for a standard grab. You can counter by jumping and then hitting for 2 or 3 times, face kick, or by aerial combat art. I like to use Sakura dance, but any aerial attack should work as a nice counter. Whenever he breaks and falls, you have a great opportunity to get some damage in, but it can also be risky. This is because if you don't catch it immediately, you do not have enough time to try to attack if you already hesitated. He'll recover quickly if you don't damage enough and hit with some quick swipes if you're not careful. If you are able to follow up, you'll do some nice damage and then he'll sprint away and try to set up for a jump and grab. That's basically everything that happens in the first phase. For the second phase, his moves are much less twitchy and I find them to be more telegraphed, but the delay can trip you up. I find this fight is significantly easier because you can get a lot more chances to punish, and you're rewarded much more for deflections. The timing of his normal swings is pretty straightforward because of how fast they actually come in. I find you can pretty easily get a deflect on almost all of them by using the generous telegraph. He will ready the sword, then after a short delay move in for the strike. As soon as he twitches, I hit block and hold until after the sword strikes, and this gives me a deflect on most of his hits. Jump his wide swings and don't bother running to him for a follow-up. He goes too far away and will be able to start swinging before you can reach him. He has a standard dive that is telegraphed by him coming towards you and leaning heavily forward. He will throw his body at you and then sweep with his sword. Unlike his wide sweep, this is blockable, so either block it or jump it and face kick. His big skydive bomb is an easy dodge following the same principle as his standard attacks. After he sets up, as soon as he begins his dive, jump and you'll dodge his sweep. Use the umbrella whenever he screams to avoid terror buildup. You can use any umbrella variant. I used to try to time undoing it based on the screen color, but it was too inconsistent. Instead, what I do now is position myself in front and in between his legs and wait to see his elbow come back into frame. That seems to be the best reference point for me to key off of to get an attack off. You need to make sure your timing is precise or be willing to take a hit while you're learning. He has one attack post screen that will come in just fast enough that if you time it well, you can deflect it before it gets to you. If you're late at all, this attack will hit you. Your big moment to punish will be timing his large swing down, which you'll want to react to by blocking as soon as he starts to bring the sword down. This will give you a consistent deflect and he'll be stunned for a few seconds. Sometimes you want to make sure that when he sets up for the big swing, you get closer so that you're in range. If you don't pay attention, he can actually push you far enough away to rob the chance to get those swings. Thanks for watching. I hope this helps and you like the content. Subscribe for more guides and game retrospectives to come. Be safe, have fun.